Or have you gone again? I think you've gone again.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, there you are. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear and see you.
It's
Pretty good
perfect.
quality. Yeah. Yeah.
It's great
It's just,
quality.
yeah, it's good. Yeah. Yeah. Can you see me? You can see me all right? And can you
I
hear me
can,
properly?
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair play.
All
You
right.
just got a notion, did you, just to go for it?
I don't know. I was just chatting with a friend and he was like, yeah, just whatever. And then I just decided, oh, whatever, I'd do it. So
It's the best fucking way. Because I
I
think if
don't
you
know.
think about these things,
Yeah, I thought,
you
what am
can
I going to
just
do
go, oh,
tomorrow?
how should it, how should it go, or whatever. You'd have loads of thoughts
Yeah,
about it. And it's just better just to jump in off the deep end.
probably. Yeah, probably. I'm not trying. I'd prepare otherwise, and you know, or yeah, I'd probably prepare if there was a date. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that
Well,
would
it's
be,
definitely be on your mind. Like I much prefer actually. So when it works out like this, and
yeah,
um, it's just totally spontaneous, or just somehow comes out of the blue, then it's just way you just have to kind of roll with it then. And
yeah,
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 it's kind of
yeah.
like being
That's
chucked
okay.
into a swimming pool
Yeah, which
and
is
learning how to
basically,
swim.
yeah, which is a bit like life anyway.
It is, yeah.
Really, yeah, that's how my life is anyway. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
ever seem
suppose
to
it
know
is, yeah.
what's going to happen. I just, yeah,
I don't think
generally.
anybody does, even though I think people just give you the impression that they do, but they don't really have a clue. They can't have a clue.
Maybe, yeah. I have no idea what's going on for them.
That's
They're even
true.
they're even more confusing to fathom than I am. Obviously, yeah. I have no idea what's going on with anyone else other than what happens here. Apparently, yeah. That's the way
Yeah,
it
I
feels
suppose
anyway.
I suppose I could relate to that. If you kind of suddenly believe what people are saying and the words, there sounds like there's certainty there, and
Yeah,
there's no certainty.
yeah. No, no. Or maybe, yeah. For me, there's certainly not. I don't know about other people. Um, it's yeah. I just tried to reflect on people that I meet or people that I've seen at work today, and I don't know what they're thinking really. What's going on for them. I suppose they're trying to defend a self. That's the way I kind of see it. Is they're sort of defending some. They're living in that idea of themselves as real, and they sort of try to keep it up. They try to keep it going, their lives. But I don't know.
Yeah,
They've
like
got
you say,
more.
that actually now that you say it, sure, it's impossible to know what's going on. It's impossible to know what's going on with them completely and utterly, and even just this idea of defending themselves or protecting themselves and all that. That's just
Pretending that they know what to do in their jobs as well, like they understand, because I work as a school teacher, I do supply and stuff like that. So yeah,
okay.
like people sort of pretend they understand children or they understand what they need, and maybe they do, but I don't. But they seem to, yeah. I don't think they do really.
They seem to know what's
Yeah,
best. Is it for kids and all that? They seem to know what the best thing to do is. Yeah, it appears
they
like that, and there doesn't seem to be any doubt about it either.
yeah, and they also think they understand what children are doing, so they label children as, oh, he's like this, or he's doing that to gain some sort of advantage. I don't know why the children behave as they do, really. But I don't know if they're trying it on, or I suppose, but they seem to think that that's what's happening. The teachers or the dinner staff and people like that. It's a big mystery, isn't it? Really, it's mental. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I suppose maybe then everything is just the way everything is. Sure, nobody has any choice anyway, or to be. It just seems it can appear like prescriptive, and then it can appear like, or not prescriptive, but it can appear like people know exactly what's the right thing to do for kids. And
Yeah.
yeah, so what age are
Yeah.
the kids that you work with?
Well, I kind of work across the school, so I work with nursery age right up till year 6. Yeah, so
Okay.
this has only started in the last sort of few years, and then I have bits, and because I work for an agency, I have periods of time where I don't work at all. Like I'll just have a few months off, kind of thing.
Okay.
Um, just because sometimes there's no work, um, or sometimes there is. And in the last week, I've started working in the school, and I just go into nursery, and then I'll go into year 4, and then I'll do a bit in year 3. So I just randomly move around the building, and yeah, I'm just chucked into the deep end pretty much. Like every lesson, the teacher will say, "Oh, we want you to do this, the A, B, and C," and then I'll just kind of try to enjoy myself as much as possible and do what they ask me to do, I suppose.
Mm.
Uh,
What's it like with the nursery battalion? What is that chaos?
there, yeah, it's well. There's only a few of them in nursery, but I don't. Yeah, I mean they're. I mean, there's some ridiculous characters. I mean, you know what young kids are like, so they're fairly ridiculous in many ways. Like they say a lot of funny things, or they're not yet socialized.
Yeah.
So they're very difficult to understand. Yeah, you just kind of just leave them to it. Um,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fun. But I'd say it's well. I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to do it now, but I'd say the randomness of it has to be amusing. Like the lack of seriousness, because most jobs, well, there's a lot of seriousness in the world, isn't there? Like a lot people are
yeah.
kind of serious about everything. Like you know,
Oh my God. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yes. Yeah.
whereas little
Um,
people are not serious. They're having the crack. Like, I mean, and
they
they
are.
can't understand why everybody else. Well, they don't even think about probably why everybody else is being serious and adulty.
Yeah, you're probably right. No, they don't get it. I mean, I suppose because they've all got it's quite a secure nest, and they've got a lot of support, so they can kind of just idle along in their lives happily. Particularly when they're really young.
Mm.
Primary school children. Yeah, I'd say they have quite nice lives, but the staff are often just they take it very seriously, and they're incredibly stressed and just going out of their minds. And I've always been a bit more laid back, I suppose, and especially since I started getting into this non-duality and all that.
How did that
Yeah.
happen? How did?
Oh, my seeking journey, or
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I was going to monasteries and Buddhist monasteries about 10 years ago when I was at university. I got interested in stuff like this,
that's a big thing
Buddhism.
to do, though. That you went to Buddhist monasteries? How did that even start?
Oh, well, I met a nun in Edinburgh because I was at Edinburgh Uni, and I was I was quite lost at the time, and I was speaking to anybody who looked holy or a Catholic or a Hare Krishna or somebody,
Yeah.
and she was on her way to give a talk, and I said, "Look, I'm just so happened that she was giving a talk on the road where I lived, so I went to the talk, and I was quite impressed, and then a monk used to come through every month from his monastery and give a talk and meditation. And so I started going to that, and then I started going to his monastery, and then it's carried on going to the monasteries in that tradition. And the main teacher is quite non-dual in his overall teaching. It's a bit Tony Parsons-esque.
Okay.
Um, yeah, his main thing is it's like this, or it's called Ajahn Sumedho. He's from the Thai forest tradition, and it appealed to me to become a monk just because I thought it'd be a way out. I have no, but as soon as I yeah, go to those monasteries for a few years, just staying as a guest, um, You're frozen there. Can you still hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you
Yeah.
froze for a while. But then somebody introduced me to Tony Parsons about a year ago. And then so I started going to his meetings, and and in the last sort of month or so I've been to see various teachers, Tim Clisson, whoever, Andreas Muller, yeah,
Okay.
Richard
Okay.
Silvestre, those people from your channel basically. And I started watching your channel.
Okay. So you're totally fucked then.
And probably fucked. Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
perhaps. Yeah, could be. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know. Are you fucked? Are we all? Are you?
No.
Yeah.
And can I ask you, were we emailing? Was it us that you were thinking about, even in the
Yeah.
last few months, you were thinking about
Mm.
it, the going into that? It's a
Yeah, because
radical thing to do, isn't it, in a way, to go into a monastery?
yeah, I suppose it appeals in the sense, oh, it would be less pressure. There wouldn't be any stress, you know, and you know the idea of just having one robe and a little hut, and you know a little bowl of food, just to kind of, yeah, the ideal of being a monastic is quite appealing. Um, yeah, I mean, they live. The idea is that they live quite simply. But I honestly, I don't know whether I could do it or not. I don't. I've obviously been, and I don't know. I mean, if yeah, it's just another It's just another set of relations, you know. Like if you're a school teacher, it's just another soup. It's just more. It's just a new kind of uh, chaotic, crazy, unmanageable scene, basically, a monastery, just like life is, or how life feels for me, anyway. Yeah, just a bemusing, quite baffling, often scary, or just, yeah, just a what's going on here sort of thing. That's, yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, I was talking to somebody I was talking to my friend Boris at the weekend, and we were kind of saying, well, I've always had the sense it's kind of, well, it's very serious, this thing that we're in. How come we're not just topping and having a bit of fun? I mean, not in even in
Yeah.
a kind of a, rejection, but it is quite serious, and it doesn't seem like that's, mm,
Necessary.
it's not necessary. It's kind of like, hello,
Yeah.
anybody else want to come and play, or we just have to wait here? There's nobody out. Everybody is going somewhere. Everybody's on a journey to get from A to fucking B, and but nobody is going. Anybody want to come and play today out in the Garden of Eden or whatever the fuck this place is
Yeah.
called?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, nobody wants to come out and play anymore. Everybody used to want to come out and play
Yeah.
when you were a kid, but obviously, yeah, it's not the case now. It's people's minds are
Well, yeah, I don't know even how. I just kind of was going around. Like, have you looked around? This is pretty amazing, but
yeah.
everybody's at work every day, and everybody's getting
Mm,
on their train to. It seems like everybody's on their train to their next holiday, and because you have to be doing stuff in this world, and you have to be seen to be doing stuff, and you have to be seen to be a serious human, whatever even that means. Be a serious human. I don't even know what that means, but like we are in floating in timelessness sort of thing, if you know what I mean. We are floating in this whatever abyss.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it seems like it's a good crack, but we're most of the time.
It's amazing. Like, it's completely amazing. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Everybody is, they're looking for relief from their kind of personal hell, you know? So they try to aim towards going on holiday. And when they go on holiday, they have a crap time. essentially, I mean, I know somebody recently that went to Africa, and she saw like all the amazing nature of Africa, and she said she was bored of seeing a giraffe by like the third day.
Because she
And
knows it then. Yeah,
because she
being there.
knows it, yeah, she knows it. But I only have to look out the window and see, like, you know, sometimes it's just amazing, you know. You know, to see like the sky, just the sky, how the sky can look, or you know, birds, 100 birds, or whoever, whatever, you know. There's just, it's right here, you know, and yet people are completely missing it somehow, like you said, and it is a bit like.
Well, it would, like we said at the very start, we don't know for definite, but it would seem like that everybody is on a train somewhere, and you're kind of there at the station, and the train, you know, maybe you get off the train, but you can't even. Yeah, I mean, it just does seem like that. But then even a monastery seems quite serious. Maybe it is simple living. Maybe it's like, maybe it is simple living. I don't know. It just seems like perhaps there are levels in the monastery as well. Are there? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. There's a whole game. Yeah,
There.
totally. Yeah, massive. It's
See.
sometimes as bad or worse. Yeah, yeah. When you've got lots of people working on themselves, oh, they're
Yeah,
in
well,
they're watching themselves, and watching their mind, and trying to develop different things, and trying to get to cultivate things, or to get rid of their anger or their jealousy. It's a whole game. I mean, there's very few. I've never met a monastic really who was on any sort of, in any way, look at them and think, oh, they've got it sussed. Not really,
yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah, as much as I'd like to meet someone who really was there, yeah, yeah, I haven't. That hasn't happened.
But see, do you know what you're looking for then? Like, what is this? When you say somebody who is there, do you know what that is? Do you know what you're looking for?
I think you're kind of looking for a free person, I suppose, or somebody that you can kind of hold on to in this, what I suppose they call it, the free fall, right? Something that you think, oh, it's just a seeking thing, I suppose. It's we're looking for something to then become, really, and it's a futile endeavor, because it's just ridiculous, you know, the
And
idea
and
that.
and is it a futile endeavor? I mean, is that what you think? It's a futile endeavor, or do you still have a little bit of hope that?
I've
Do
still
you
got a
think
bit
there
of,
is? You
yeah.
still have hope, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've still got a bit of hope. I still go and see Tony Parsons, or yeah, I still go and see. Like I said, I'm going this weekend to Richard Sylvestre, or um, but I'm kind of losing hope. I have to say, I've nearly lost it.
But
Yeah.
can I ask you? And I'm just obviously curious. What is it you think that they? What is it you think that they've got in your mind? Just what do
Yeah.
you think they've got that you
Well,
think you'd like as a matter of interest?
I thought that what they had was yeah, with that they got it. Yeah,
And can I ask you, do you
yeah.
know what you
What
think
I
that
think what the it is.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an illusion. Obviously, it's an illusion. It's obvious. I don't even know what the illusion is, but something to. I suppose it's something to cure oneself of this kind of nagging uncertainty, or this sense of loss, or this sense of confusion in life. And so, but yeah, essentially there isn't that I suppose that whole thing just runs out of steam. Like, it just, the energy of it, just what I mean, yeah, it kind of, it's sort of running out in my case. here. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously you're not going to get anything at a Tony Parsons meeting. I mean, what could it, it's not like some miracle that can happen.
But can I ask you now, is that because you said there's nothing to get, so it's not that there's nothing to get, there's no you to get it and all those things, but is there still that hope feeling that, you know, that there is
Um,
something? I'm only asking, obviously,
oh, there
just
must be. There must be. I suppose there must be, in a way. Perhaps there must be. But it only comes up every now and then. Like, I'll get up in the morning on Saturday and then I wasn't going to go to Tony Parsons last Saturday, but then I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh, I'll go. But
yeah.
I don't think I was really thinking I was going to get anything. Not really. I thought it'd be a nice day out. It's nice to go to London, to sit on a train, just to kind of just have a nice day out, to see what's happening. Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit like that. I mean, I know I'm not going to get any kind of answer, or I don't even know what the question is either.
Is it funny though? I mean, not knowing what the question is or what the solution would look like that would satisfy this
Mm.
sense of whatever you described it as lost there. What do you think is the loss?
Yeah, couldn't put it into words really. I suppose it's just like one's life has to have some sort of meaning. It can't just be, yeah, you feel like it can't just be purposeless. And then, yeah, it probably is. Yeah, so I suppose that's what one feels like one's lost, which you never really had to have when we were kids. You just kind of, there wasn't any sense of there had to be a purpose in life. But for the me or whatever, the me sort of feels like it has to have, it's got to be something. That's what it thinks, I suppose. But
Is that
it's
what you is that what you think? Is that what you think?
not necessarily. It just, yeah, it couldn't say consistently. It not really,
And
not so much.
what is it that you? I know this is hard because, and so it's great. I get to ask the questions.
Yeah,
But
that's okay. Yeah, yeah,
what
fire away.
what do you what do you want in your heart of hearts? What do you think you want? What is it you want as opposed to that this me? The way you see, because we learn and have heard so much. And
Mm,
whether it's the non-duality story or
mm.
any story,
The
I'm just what is
materialistic,
it?
yeah.
Whatever. What is it that you're looking for? Like,
Yeah, I suppose I don't really have those overarching things that I'm searching for anymore. It's more just like now I'm just looking for like a nice dinner, or to have sleep nicely, or to have a good time, to have a laugh.
hmm.
Yeah, it's more things like that now. I know, and even in the past, I'm not sure whether I really believed too much that there was going to be some kind of ridiculous narrative to one's life. I mean, I can't be bothered with that. It's too much effort, really. It's just ridiculous as well, isn't it? I can't keep it going. I can't keep this. Couldn't keep it going. Like if I go to a monastery, I'll be there for like a week, and the first couple of days I'll be reading a book by a Buddhist monastic and being like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing, and I've been doing this today. I've been
Yeah,
cultivating this path, and it just runs out of steam by day 3 completely. You know, I think Tony
yeah,
calls it like the higher self and the lower self, and so we have this higher self that wants that has these lofty goals for one's life, and like peace and love and harmony and all that, and then the lower self just enjoys just lying in bed and just indulging in sensual pleasures. And so you kind of, as soon as you go for the higher self, you snap back into the lower self, and before you know it, I've been at monastery, and then all of a sudden I'm doing the lower self stuff. And it's,
yeah.
yeah, and a lot of people
That's
there do as well, yeah,
that's
but
just
I'm bad
it's
at it.
amazing the fucking game there, isn't it? Really, like that is the higher self trying to make the middle self feel good about the lower self. But you know what?
And
Like, it's interesting when we talk about when you were kind of saying there about peace and bliss, and say, like, from the moment your eyes open, everywhere you look, everywhere you see, it's all everybody's on a path to somewhere, and that's a constant bombardment. Like, life is almost marketing. The journey of life is almost marketing itself from the get-go, from having a location, from having a place and time, and everything fucking fits so that there is death, there is your life, and there is a place that you can get to. And everywhere, you can't but avoid that with any other human, because everybody is on this path and it's unavoidable, like, from what I can gather. And so then somehow this being lost, clueless, clueless, no clue about anything, becomes something else. Maybe, is it? I don't know. It becomes something else about somebody trying to get somewhere. That's it's supposed to be absolutely clueless about anything, totally empty of all. Somehow everything, words become real things. So there is something called peace and bliss that is real and is achievable. So it's constantly fucking carrots everywhere we see. And then obviously then something happens where all these things don't become any, or in the way it's just like you were saying, 3 days into a monastery, you can see through it obviously already. Like, so somehow all the carrots, yet the movement is still there. We're still, still looking for shit. Still, you can see through all of the bullshit in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose the carrots, like, you don't look at them as maybe as carrots. They just kind of dissolve, disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, I know, I mean, some people keep it going for a long time, their story. Like, I don't understand how that works for them. How they continue to keep the same belief, because my experience is fragmented quite a lot. It's just, it seems like I just kind of maybe just flip from one thing to another, really. I don't know. I really, I think that's why maybe this message appeals in a way. I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
Yeah. But it is an embrace of all of all things, of chaos, and it doesn't. I mean, to me as well, it is a load of bullshit too. I think everything seems to me to be everybody. If there was a while there, I used to believe all the words that were spoken to me as this was true, that there was something that could fall away and that there was a place to get to. And but then I think just the kind of mystery of, not even mystery, the being alive thing is kind of, wow, what the fuck, like. But I mean, I just think even things like a self that can fall away is another. You can have that as another goal.
Yeah,
As
it's
much
a
as
stupid idea.
Yeah, because like the reality is you can't.
What's it mean?
Where is the controller of anything? Like, that's not even like, where is the controller? It's just
there isn't. Yeah, there's not.
But then there's obviously it's
There
dissatisfying.
seems to be. Yeah, maybe there seems to be, but not really. I mean, the self falling away. I mean, what's that? what does that mean? Yeah, it's just, what's that on about? What is it that falls away? I don't know. Like, it just gets quite conceptual, I suppose, on that level, you know, when it's, yeah, all of that. I couldn't understand that, to be honest.
And how is it like, you know, you see, yeah, even like, you see, the thing is, you have to be absolutely rock solid on the idea of a self that can then fall away. And see, that's just a bit nuts too, I think. That's, to me, I mean, everybody just seems to know loads of shit like about a self that can fall away, or a place of fucking, everybody just seems to know shit, or they say, but then mostly they will say things like there's just what's happening, and then they'll go on to say, and here's the story. Once upon a time, there was somebody who lived in time and space, and the cracks shows up in that storyline, and they try everything to fill those cracks, and then, but they do start off with, most of them start off with, this is it. There's just this.
Right. Yeah. There couldn't really be anything more, though, could there? I mean, what else could there be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what else could there be? Couldn't be anything else.
But it still would be this, whatever that is. So there could be
Yeah.
totally at peace, totally zen, like the world is not able to touch Robert person,
Right.
and doesn't get disturbed by
Oh,
doing taxes, or
yeah.
he doesn't get hangry or anything like that. Could be that, but it still would be uh, it still
Maybe.
would be this,
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it? But I don't know, like, either.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be nice. It would be nice. Maybe that's why we want it. Yeah, because life does touch Robert. He does get upset, angry, jealous, sad, all of that. And yeah, I suppose you kind of, maybe you have a sense of some sort of, some relaxation, some peace that can happen, and maybe you just want it all the time. I don't know, really.
You see, that's, and it is kind, to me, in a way, it's kind of like marketing, because you hear, or you, well, not even you hear, maybe you project upon people that they seem to be totally fucking flying it, and
Mm,
doing the taxes is not a pain in the hole, and getting
okay.
served too hot coffee doesn't bother them in any way, shape, or form. That
Mm,
it seems like that's a place to get to then, doesn't it? Or does it? I don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe. I mean,
Maybe, yeah.
yeah. I don't, personally speaking, I don't care too much about things a lot of the time, in a way.
Mm.
So I don't know whether who knows what that means, really. Um, yeah. Uh, but then I worry about not worrying, I suppose. Then I think, oh well, I should give more of a shit, you know? Yeah, because in the story there are people who have more successful lives than I do, you know? So yeah, like my sister or my cousin or whatever. But but it's just not possible. It doesn't seem, I suppose, I don't know. I've heard, you could say, like, that it seems like, I mean, there's less drive for people that experience this no self thing. There's less drive in their lives. And yeah, for me, there's not a great deal of drive, really. But I don't know whether I'm just a lazy person or what. Or if I've lost the self, which doesn't exist. I mean, what the hell does that mean? And who cares anyway? What is it? We're not going to get anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting quite distracted by some housemates eating in the room next to me, but
Okay.
doesn't matter. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and so I presume most everybody you know is not interested in this, in
No, no,
this being
no, not
alive
even
thingy.
slightly.
The dead
Yeah,
fucking
not
right,
even.
like if you can, yeah. I mean, that's great, isn't
But
it?
I don't. Is it good for them? I don't think it's good for them. I don't
Why
know. I
not?
think they don't seem. No, I don't think they seem. People. Most people don't seem especially happy. To me, um, yeah, chasing stuff. I wouldn't.
I don't know.
I don't think I'd necessarily.
You wouldn't necessarily recommend. I mean, I think either the reality is either this sort of something along the lines you get something hits you that the description for being alive doesn't fit for this sense of seeing, let's just say, or looking. The description that you get your entire life, it just doesn't work, and for most people it's just not questioned, I think. And I don't know whether that's good or bad. I just can't remember when that was the case. So I don't know. I know my kids don't seem to give a shit about any of this. It's just for
Oh,
them.
okay.
It's just they're just tipping along, and other people who are or who are not, I just don't know. I don't know what it would be like. It's such a kind of a. Is it a strange thing to be interested in? Not really. No, I mean, when I was chatting with Boris at the weekend, we're both kind of going like, it is the biggest discussion in the room. This being alive, this or this whatever, this,
Hmm.
this
Mm.
thing, this now, this chatting thing happening
Yeah.
is the loudest thing everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. It's the fact that it's happening, or that there's something that's pretty loud, and that either kind of hits you, or you're just tipping along, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you're on the train, and you're definitely getting from A to B, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's quite a violent. I think that creates the violence. Really, is when if someone's going somewhere and they know they have an idea of where they're going, then everything in their way is just objects, uh, and so they kind of they judge people and events and places relative to where they think they're going to go. So they don't really meet you. They meet the idea in their mind of you. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean by that? And so
totally, yeah. You're
and
never
so
seen ever,
they no, you're never seen. And
but nobody has ever
you're
really seen though either.
no, well maybe not. Maybe.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
the
know.
thing is, like, you see, there is that complication of coming together of one story trying to latch on to another story and getting to know. That could be because it's like really, we're just chewing the cud here. It's not, we're
Mm.
not going anywhere. It's just the chewing the cud thing. I think it's when maybe one story tries to take something from somebody else's story, or dominate, or fucking control, or whatever. But you see, then thing is though, in the, still everything happening as that, isn't it? Like it's just appearing as that. Then I mean, that's
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is not very pleasant. Like so, then everything appears as horror, and then I still doesn't see, because there's nothing to compare it to, really, because there's only one thing, only one happening, one everything happening as that. There's the reason why some might say that that's perfection, because really, when there's only one, then there is no judge or jury. There is no anything. Even though to me it just seems horrendous sometimes. I was watching some fucking Netflix thing last night, and I just went, fucking horror, like the horror of this.
yeah. What was it?
Unbelievable. It's really good, by the way.
Oh, right.
It's really good and horrible at the same time. I was fucking weeping watching it, and then getting really angry and vengeful and all this, every sort of emotion. But that seems to be this. Life doesn't seem to be like the story of life seems to have everything in it. It's like as if you went to the cinema and there was just love throughout the whole story, and there was no heartache and no falling in love with someone brand new and falling out. It was just love all the way. You just go, fucking shit that. You want the drama. You want
Yeah.
chaos and the all of that. And
change and dynamism. Yeah.
all
Something
of that.
dynamic. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, I suppose so. Yeah. And that's probably why we follow these stories in life, maybe just to make it less bland. But I suppose, I don't know. I mean, Tony Parsons says, about Jesus saying he was going to level the mountains and raise the valleys or something, that life would become more like that and not this. Yeah, I think this does like maybe tend towards not these, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems dispassion maybe, or just an okayness. I think I've heard people call it, just oh, this is all right. But then it's more than that quite a lot, isn't it? It's kind of like it's amazing. It's more like a wow, And I suppose with people like, you were saying like, hello, is anyone there? You do kind of feel like, come on, hello, what, have a look. Like, so it's a bit sad that people don't are not more interested in things like this. To be like, wow, this is what the hell is this? What is this going on? But like, I mean,
yeah. It's kind of like, yeah. When I was at this festival, I just thought, like, even the festival seemed like it wasn't really a festival, but it's just like. This is loud, like it is unavoidable in a way, and it's kind of like it'd be nice to have more people out playing. That's all in it, but then it doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't know what goes on for this other life. Is just fucking mental. I don't really think too much about whether people are doing it or not. It's just sometimes I kind of get that feeling of, "Ooh, have you?"
yeah,
Look at
at least loosen up a bit, especially in the working world. Just lighten up a bit, chill out a bit, Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, like, though, I mean, it always was a thing for me, the working world, that people would spend their entire lives behind a computer, and that was the drudgery, and, that is the way it is. And it used to always bother me. And then now, even lately, I kind of go, it's not that it bothers me, but it kind of goes, right, this is every tiny last drop of eternity appearing and disappearing. This is every you disappeared there. This is every last tiny drop, and it appears a little bit serious, but I mean that just seems to be all you can do is go out and fucking play yourself, even if you're just you're playing on your Todd anyway. I mean, this is
Pretty much.
anyway.
Yeah,
you're on your own anyway.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Apart from chewing the cud from time to time, and
yeah, we are alone.
Yeah, it's not lonely though. I mean, are you lonely?
Not so much. Maybe sometimes.
That's a difficult question. I'm sorry.
It's quite direct.
That's not really fair.
I don't know. I mean, I've got, I mean, sometimes I quite like my own company as well. Yeah, mainly I chat with this about. There's only really one of my friends who's interested in this as well. So, but he and I talk a lot, you know, on the phone, or about the self, the me, and he gets quite lonely as well. But it's they're really loud in there. I might have to move rooms. But it's
It doesn't come in mind if it bothers you. It doesn't come across on the
no. It's just
microphone,
it
so it could bother you.
upsets my train of thought a little bit.
Do you want to move?
I suppose not necessarily. Like, yeah, I mean, occasionally you do kind of want to share something with another, but I've always found that is incredibly rare, really, to really meet another and to have an understanding. It's really quite rare, I think, in life. It happens only very, very occasionally. And so, yeah, would you say that's fair to say? I think it feels like that. But there is a knowing of when there's an immediate resonance with that other who you kind of mold, you know, you just kind of gel together perfectly. But the rest of the time you're on your own, kind of searching for that home, I suppose, until you sort of realize everywhere is home. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna move. Like, just give me a sec, all right?
Yeah, sound, yeah.
I'm gonna move. Yeah. Hello. Some folks that I live with. They don't even like me. we argue.
All right.
Yeah.
Where are you living?
Oh shit, man. My key is, well, I live with just rent a room from this old dude, and there's about 6 of us that live here. It's a big house. It's a fairly eventful place, I suppose you could say. Yeah.
I hear you barking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I suppose people clash, you know. So we, especially with me at times. But wow, that's much more peaceful now. So yeah, you know, you just kind of bump along in life, and I think I don't necessarily have too much of a plan. So I might be going to China to teach in China soon. So that's a completely different adventure, and just go and see what that's all about. I mean,
that sounds deadly.
Deadly.
Yeah, deadly good. Like, that sounds great.
Oh, deadly. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of Dodge. Yeah, if you're not enjoying it too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, totally. I've actually been offered a job, so I'm just kind of I've got to go through the whole visa process and all that shit, you know. But yeah, I think I don't know whether it's fair to say, but there does seem to be some people, and this might be wrong, who are kind of more into their own story than others. And so I find that with those people, I clash with, because they do seem to be trying to pursue this very fixed life. Would that be true? I don't know.
I mean, for me, it doesn't. I mean, it depends on the day, so I can't answer. But for the most part, it's whatever somebody's doing. It doesn't, unless they're coming and headbutting me in the face, then probably they'll get a reaction. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, actually.
It's not my business, like, unless they're asking, we're chatting, and it's suddenly become my business. But in terms of, you don't need to buy into their thing. It's, well, you know what? It's whatever makes you, I don't know, whatever fucking gets you through. It doesn't, yeah. I mean, it just never cut it for me. But then I went down that road, and when you see where it leads, it's just, that's so pleasant. And, you know, if you're not interested in getting off that road, then, you know, that's totally and utterly fine. Nothing leads anywhere. So then, but you're either going to be open to hearing that or not. You know, that's what, for me. It seems like that anyway. So that's not like sort of some sort of somebody beeps the horn at me in the car. It's not like I'm going all I love you. It's
Yeah.
fuck you. Oh.
Right. Yeah.
No, but that's somebody in your face sort of thing, you know, for the most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
I presume, you know, I suppose, yeah. It's just, I have no idea what I'm going to do. So,
Yeah. People do. They do get in your face, though, don't they? Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to happen to me that often, but
No.
who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't seem to kind of mix with that. I kind of get the vibe pretty quickly in my body, what somebody, you get a feeling, and my gut feeling, the more and more kind of just, my gut feeling is okay, there's this won't, like, there's definitely openness to whoever the fuck I'm chatting to.
Yeah.
They probably have no interest in talking to me because I don't know what the fuck is going to come out my mouth. And so then, more than likely, it's pretty honest and raw, and whatever is happening will come out of my trapdoor. Do you know what I mean? So then, more than likely, that will probably get a, yeah, I don't really want to chat to that person anymore, or it'll be, I like chatting to that person, and I like hearing what they're saying, and maybe there'll be a jump for a good while, and then that's nice too. Like, so I don't know, you know, you just don't know really, you know. I think anybody, I've always felt that anybody who really gives you the impression of that they've arrived at the station, that means then there's a place where there is an end point, and there is a start point where there's an arrival, and that doesn't sit with floating in space. You know what I mean? Floating in this, it just doesn't sit with me at all. That, so, you know, fair enough. Like, it doesn't necessarily. I don't go and say, right, well, I should try and change somebody just because they appear to know. It just doesn't resonate at all with me. And I kind of get that sense, either if it's in a book or in a place, it seems like, okay, they've got it sussed. And then I kind of go, right, well, if it appears like they've got it sussed, then
They probably haven't.
They probably haven't. It's total ignorance to me. You know, the person who probably has it sussed the most is a dude sitting out on his boat fishing all day, saying fucking nothing to no one and just fishing. And he knows nothing about nothing, as he'll say himself, and that dude is the dude to hang around. You know what I mean? That's the dude to say, any chance I can go out fishing with you? You don't even need to talk to me. But
right,
more than likely, that dude, anybody who knows nothing, really, really, truly knows nothing about nothing, they're the dudes to hang around with, I think. You know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because then you're free. Why? I mean, who does know anything? No one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you know anything? How can you know anything? Like, any word is fucking totally horse manure. Definitely, from what I can see, any word at all is horse manure. And maybe, you know, people might say, oh, well, you're just pointing or whatever, but that's still a happening where pointing is happening, but it's still more than likely horse manure. You know, if it's believed, probably it's not. If it's believed as a thing, then the problem is in the belief as opposed to the sounds that appear as something meaningful and real. This is total chaos, like, happening. Not that you can know it's total chaos happening. It's just whatever the fuck is coming out of trapdoors and sounds being hearing this.
Yeah. And it's gone. It's always gone. It's always gone. What is always leaving. It's the stream. So how can you know it? You just can't. There's nothing to grasp onto. It's always gone.
Yeah. It's the empty, like, yeah. It's like kind of constantly rebooting and control alt deleting itself, constantly deleting the memory. It's the fishbowl shit happening. Like it's the water coming out of the sink constantly coming out of the sink, and it looks like it's empty, and then there's water coming out of the sink and water. I mean, I don't know though. See, people seem to know so much. I mean, I read these poems and they just seem to be so, oh wow, they're amazing poems.
Right.
Fucking this. And okay, that's great. Like, but it just more and more it seems to be big descriptions of what's happening, long descriptions, always seem to be linked to a knower, a knowing. How the fuck can you know? Like, what the fuck? And then that's the water falling out of the sink again and again and again. Still, I don't know what the fuck this thing. I actually, what's interesting, I don't know what the thing that is. I don't know what I don't know. What I don't know. What I don't know. What I don't. I don't know how. I don't know.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, that's the end in the mystery. That's the beginning and end of the mystery, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't know. Like, but you see, then you see when you read shit in the book, it appears like it's got to be true, doesn't it? You know what I mean? This is a book. It's in a book. So, all right.
I don't know. It depends what book. I don't know what book you're on about.
I'm talking about Dan Brown's book, obviously. No, I'm joking. I'm talking about the Bible. No,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about any book. There's a time where something would be in a book and you'd believe that because it's in a book, it's authority. You know, it's somebody is an authority on something. It's like,
Yeah. No, they don't know shit.
yeah,
They don't know fuck. I mean, who knows shit, and who's going to put into action like whatever they might suggest as knowledge? It's like I just can't understand. I can't understand that. Yeah, I can't understand it. That idea of somebody knowing something and then me taking what they know and putting it into practice in my life. What the hell's that mean? I have no idea. I mean, but obviously there's a lot of people who know a lot. Like they know how to sleep, or like there's people who are experts on that, or they know how to make money,
yeah,
and how you can do it. I
yeah,
think it's completely random. Yeah. Or
yeah,
how you should exercise. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
I
know,
mean, I
go on, yeah.
well, I had a tumor recently, and like a bone tumor in the pelvis, and so that kept me out of action for years. Really, like that really fucked me up.
Yeah,
And the doctors, they didn't understand like cancer. They don't understand it. Like, and it felt like that, you know, like the most senior consultant was like, oh, he didn't understand how somebody gets it or what it is. He just said you've been hit by a cosmic ray, was what he said. He had no idea.
you've been hit by a cosmic ray.
Yeah, I think that's true. That's probably quite accurate. I think that's quite.
Well, it's probably as accurate as anything else.
Yeah, of course it is. They don't understand. So I mean, yeah. But of course, like you have to pretend that you understand in life. So you put on the show, you put on an act. I put on an act pretending, but I'm quite aware of it, and you start to run out of desire to do that, or I do. I start to just run out of the being bothered to pretend anymore. Yeah, you know, to put on the act that I know how to teach children. I don't.
Great way to get a job.
I know, yeah. Maybe don't, yeah. Well, don't put my name on this. Just put a different name or something.
Yeah, we're going in for a job interview. So, what's your approach with the
Well,
kids?
I feel like saying to them, well, you don't fucking know either, do you? You know, let's be honest. Really, what you try to do is to just keep them in as smaller pen as possible to get them to get work out of them, to grind work out of them, to meet results, you know, which is just an insane thing that goes on. Yeah, the grinding, just trying to move them into certain channels of correct behavior and action to meet objectives which you don't know whether they're the ones that people should meet, but the profession just has a momentum of its own, you know. And you just find yourself in it. Yeah, I don't know. And then you pretend, really.
Yeah. If people, so everybody's obviously pretending all of the time and playing multiple different roles with whoever they feel they need to manage. Everybody's different, like whether it's their mother or their father or their boss or their friend or whatever. It's that management, and yeah, but even pretending, would I've known if I was pretending? I would have felt tired from certain scenarios. Certain scenarios would have bothered me more. Certain corporate-y, formal environments where it would have been wearing terrible clothes, coming in disheveled and saying just whatever the fuck is on your mind and swearing and just whatever, or just totally your mouth really going off and you haven't a clue what's going to come out of it. That's not allowed in the world because it is serious, and they, first of all, you're judged by the demeanor, then you're judged by your handshake, your smile, your ability to laugh. You are to get
political
on, to tell a
opinions.
joke, you're serious, you're not serious, and whatever stickers are instantly within between 2 minutes or even a minute and 15 minutes, the stickers are put on you that he's this way, he's that way, he's a little he's a little bit shy, he's a little bit too noisy, he's a bit too loud, he needs to ring, he's too quiet. And every single thing, all these judgments that you actually place upon yourself, combined with what you think are placed upon you, it becomes a story trying to negotiate stories, and everybody fucking playing this game. Somehow you won't see that I am nothing, and I won't see that you're nothing, and we can just somehow maintain this charade, even if it's a subtle going to a fucking non-duality meeting, and there's perhaps a relaxation in that, because all the stories are kind of going, I mean, it's no greater place. It can appear as really cold when somebody goes, rah, 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 me, rah, 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 my life, rah, 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 and all that's received back is, okay, that's what's happening there.
Yeah.
Just not entertained. And really, the person doesn't want to carry that fucking story. So that's why people, I suppose, now talk about relaxation, because the whole thing, all of the games are killed. So maybe that's the fucking energetic thing that happens. All the games, there's no place for the games anymore. There's no place for, I'm great, I know this here, I know this much about non-duality, please see me, please, me. I have one more question for this question, and it's on and on, but it's just not entertained. So I suppose the very best thing then is the suffocation, and maybe that's why people go back to the meetings all the time, because, well, at least I don't feel the need to play the game there, and even if I do, it's just totally squashed and choked. And maybe nothing can see nothing, but then that's the death is the end, really, isn't it? Then that's the fucking killer of all killers. That's where it's laughter or tears forever. But there was nothing.
Oh, you don't want the tears forever, though.
What you do, yeah. What you do about nothing forever, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the greatest show it's the only show in town, though. I mean, this is the greatest show there is, man.
Yeah.
The only one that I know of.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. I like the monks as well. I like them. I don't know why, but I do. Some of them. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. I'm kind of struggling. What else? What else am I going to fill my time with? I don't know. It's like maybe not. So
Maybe you start doing fucking podcasts.
Maybe not.
Well, you see, thing is, though, in the end, what does I mean, I think the end game is just the exhaustion of pretending. It obviously just like Jim Carrey said a cool thing about that somewhere. I mean, it's still just fucking sentences, but he did say it's a couple of cool sentences I thought about. Either I'm going to keep going with this thing that's got me to where I am, and I'll go to the grave, or I go to the grave pretending, basically, or whatever. I can't remember the quote now.
Or just be real.
It's a good one anyway.
Or be real. Yeah.
Even funny though. Just be real. That's a sort of a pretending too. It's almost
maybe. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be real now. I'm really going to tell. I'm really going to really say now what's on my mind, because I'm going to be real.
Yeah, that's not going to happen either, is it? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah. I mean, you can't be anything other than what you are. Yeah. Or what happens is what happens. Nice, that's just the way it is. It is good, yeah.
Nice, because that's the water going out of the sink again for me anyway. I just like that image of whatever you said there anyway. That's the
relaxation, yeah.
It's kind
of. It is. You're not practicing anything. You're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, when I started doing yoga and stuff, I used to really be practicing that, and it was hell. Like I used to, I'd be sitting up, like trying to be like a yogi. All the time, I was thinking about it. How it was a real burden. It was awful, and
to get into this, is it? Is it what you mean? How to be? Is it, or sitting up?
Well, yeah, just because I believed that the spine had to be straight, at all times, and that I had to breathe correctly. And so I started breathing my body rather than just allowing my body to breathe. I was consciously doing things. And same with when I was consciously putting my body into a posture just in everyday life, not just necessarily in yoga, but just in everyday life. So it was this thing that was ongoing. And I suppose when that sort of all falls away, so, your body just breathes and you just sit how you sit naturally. It's more natural. So it feels like this message is maybe natural. If we were looking to put labels on it, it's like natural, and it's one of like relaxation and just naturalness, perhaps.
It's funny, like from my perspective as well, it's kind of still to me like that even probably is a story. Yeah. of a description of what's happening, and you kind of know it as well when it's coming out, don't you? It's kind of still like the sink
Yeah.
just the sink always is empty, and then it reboots, it fills back up again, and empties again, and it's
Mm.
still. I think.
It's just that flat line. It's like, what? Yeah.
See, I think you want to lay down a person. You want to lay down the marker. You want to, like putting the flag on the moon. You want to lay the flag down to say, "I'm here, fucking here." That's fucking finally over. I'm finally here. I think, and that's always, and that's just the movement. So it's in somehow the aberration is that movement of finally, and then that movement is, and finally, that's the movement, like a record player, finally,
Forever.
finally,
Yeah.
finally here at peace in this absolute fucking chaos, in this absolute total anarchy happening. I have now found I now know what I am, and here it is. It's this, it's this, and then that. Soon as that, it's kind of an exhale, and then the water's back in again, and it's kind of going. Now I'm here. Now I'm here again. I'm here.
Yeah.
I think that is the movement. It's an aberration. That's the only thing that perhaps is the aberration, is the sense of something.
Yeah.
Wanting to lay down a marker, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe sounds like a load of bullshit too, though.
There's nothing. Yeah, there isn't anything. So,
and yet then there is everything though as well. Like,
oh yeah, it's incredibly beautiful. I mean, I'm just looking out here, the gardens, like where I live. You know, it's beautiful. It's amazing. We've got a butterfly bush. We get loads of birds. The landlord's a lazy bastard, so he don't cultivate the garden, so it's just full of weeds and it's full of life. It's incredible. Yeah, cats come by. It's nice. I spend a lot of time just enjoying it. You know, just lying in bed, windows open, just enjoying the scene. You know, I would never have done that in the past. Like, or even just sitting by a lake. I saw a swan flying and landing on a lake the other day, and it was just, you know, the sound of the wings was so impressive, and then the way it landed, it was beautiful, and it skidded across the water. Just things like that are happening a lot. And then, but I suppose then something comes in and goes, starts to make a story out of it, you know? And yeah, is this me in the non-self phase? Is this what life is like now? Like everything's great, and
am I here? I'm there now.
I'm there, yeah. I'm in this kind of zen state where I'm sort of floating in life and seeing the beauty of nature. So that's bullshit. Obviously, that's bullshit as well. That is bullshit. Yeah, it is bullshit. A lot of it, everything really, perhaps. Couldn't say.
I'd say it's all stuff that has stuck with, you know, that it stick with you. All these are things that you'd have learned that take this mad happening and make it into something. Still a mad happening though. I mean, you definitely are. I mean, this is a mad happening. Chatting here with you about this chatting is mad.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe we don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is, yeah.
No.
Somehow it seems like there's meaning, but there's no meaning, you know.
Yeah.
But then you see also this can sound. I remember here at one stage going, oh, it's very unemotive or it's very uncaring or very. I remember at one point thinking that, but
Yeah. Maybe if you make it into philosophy, then maybe, but it's not philosophy. So if you just if you're just living life, then yeah, caring might happen, like deep caring, obviously, or not caring.
yeah,
It just happens. It really just happens. It's garbage to say that you're one thing or another. It's just garbage.
it's all of eternity saying it.
Maybe.
All of everything. I don't know. Yeah. You see, there isn't a start to anything. So then there's just the fucking. I don't know. There's nothing. I don't know. Anyway, I think we've cracked it though. I think we've
Yeah, we did.
I think we've.
Yeah. Yeah, we nailed it.
I think we've definitely nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be the
if anybody
yeah.
If anybody watches this, then they've received a priceless gem.
Yeah, this is wisdom on an epic fucking scale.
Yeah. If we're done, then that's cool.
Hi, if you like the conversation that I just had and you'd like more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.